Hello and welcome to the Eating Disorder Therapist podcast. I'm Harriet Frew, eating disorder therapist, here to support you in overcoming disordered eating and finding peace with food. So thank you so much for listening today. Now, just to let you know that I have been posting on YouTube recently. So my podcast has been automatically uploaded to YouTube in the past just as audio, but I have added some videos recently where I've been recording in a podcast studio in London, and I will be adding to this incrementally more and more episodes, and over time the audio and the YouTube will be aligned, and I will hopefully be posting on both every week with live videos. So just to let you know as well, I'm also going to be bringing back some guests to the Eating Disorder Therapist podcast, so do look out for those episodes too. So yeah, if you want to go and watch me on YouTube, just put into Google Harriet Frew, the Eating Disorder Therapist, and I should come up. Okay, thank you. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Massively appreciate you. So I want to talk today about some myths and facts around exercise. And I just want to credit this information to the Physiotherapy Eating Disorder Professional Network. This information sheet was provided to me when I worked for the Adult Eating Disorder Service in Cambridge. So thank you very much to the physio team there, but just want to kind of credit them ahead. Okay, so exercise, some myths and facts. Let's dive in. So any exercise or physical activity that is closely linked to an eating disorder can often start or be maintained through rules, assumptions, or beliefs about exercise and the body. And these might be perceived benefits of exercise, how much, when, why, what might happen if exercising stops. But what we often forget is these beliefs and assumptions aren't always true, and they can be helpful, unhelpful even, or powerful maintaining factors for an eating disorder. So let's look at some common myths that I see many of my clients struggling with, and also some facts too. So first of all body fat is unhealthy, so I need to exercise to reduce it. Okay, this is a myth. Fat tissue is an essential part of the body. It's important to remember that as well as being a vital fuel for the body fat also performs a number of essential functions, including protecting internal organs, allowing the brain and heart function to work effectively, production and regulation of hormones, and providing the body with insulation to prevent heat loss and support to prevent pressure sores. And I know for many people that I've worked with who've been underweight, they feel cold all the time. Sometimes they get pressure sores from laying in bed because they just haven't got any sort of fat on their body at all. Their hormones are all over the place. Maybe they've lost their period. Maybe they've lost their libido. All the things. Fat is essential for the body. We really do need it. Really need to remember that. Okay, the next one. Is this a myth? Is it a fact? Exercise can help lift my mood. This is a fact, and it's widely known that exercise can have a positive influence on mental health. And many people, including myself, find physical activity and exercise really helps improve mood due to the release of hormones known as endorphins. Now, I know for myself, I absolutely love going to the gym. I go to the gym 3 times a week, and I get a huge buzz out of it. It makes me feel so good. I love the whole connection. I love the cardio. I love the weights. I just love it all. And I've got another High Rocks coming up soon, which I am looking forward to. However, remember that this can be potentially problematic if exercise is used to avoid emotions or manage anxiety, or if it becomes the only way someone can regulate mood and manage emotions. Because if we're over-exercising so much, we're often in fight or flight. We're often not in touch with our body. We're not really in touch with how we're feeling. We almost go into this sort of numb, dissociated state. So it's important to identify for you personally whether mood is enhanced because the exercise is fueling eating disorder thoughts and used as coping, or are you actually using it for healthy, as a healthy, positive, constructive way to manage your well-being. So the aim is to make exercise fun, social and enjoyable. And in doing so, this can bring many positive and healthy benefits to mental health. So I think with this as well, you don't have to chuck the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe if you're in a place of over-exercise at this moment in time, you still in the future might be able to reduce it to a place where you're just in a really great place where you still got all those benefits without the negative aspects. Okay, the next one. Is it a myth? Is it a fact? If my muscles don't hurt after my workout, then I haven't worked hard enough. This is a myth. The body's pain response is there for a reason, and it's important to know the difference between pain and discomfort. Just because muscles don't hurt after exercise does not mean that it has been ineffective or not hard enough. And depending on the type and newness of exercise, mild discomfort may develop in the 48 hours preceding exercise. However, pain needs to be listened to, and it could be a warning that the body cannot withstand the demand that is being placed on it, and continuing exercise in that way increases the risk of injury. So I think we often hear as well statements, don't we, like no pain, no gain, feel the burn. But it's really vital to listen to your body and what it's telling you. I know, again, many of my clients that are in patterns of overactivity just are always getting injured and always feeling weary, always feeling really sore, not feeling good in their body. Okay, so we want to be going to the gym or doing whatever activity it is, feeling like full of energy and joy and vibrancy, and just feeling like our body is in a great place. Okay, next one, is it a myth or a fact? Walking to or around the shops is still exercise. Yes, it's a fact. Physical activity encompasses a wider array of activities which result in body movement and are classed as exercise, irrespective of style, purpose, or intensity. So walking to the shops is categorized as incidental exercise, where the primary reason for the activity is to complete a task, i.e. shopping, but can have some of the same effects on the body as structured exercise, such as improved muscle strength, improved cardiovascular function, and improved mood. So when considering daily exercise and activity levels, it is therefore important to take into an account an accumulation of all incidental and structured exercise. Now, probably for many people in the world, particularly perhaps in the UK or America, etc., in more Western places, many people perhaps don't even move their bodies enough, and actually doing a bit of walking to the shops every day or whatever is actually really, really beneficial. But if you have an eating disorder where you are over-exercising, you could just be adding in all this kind of extra incidental exercise in a really unhelpful way, and it's really kind of adding up to the load put on your body. So again, if you recognize yourself here, think about how you can maybe start to reduce this. Okay, next one, is it a myth? Is it a fact? There are exercise guidelines that I need to adhere to in order to be healthy. So it's partly true. There are guidelines that relate to the amount of physical activity and exercise that is recommended at different stages of life that are shown to result in benefits to both physical and mental health. However, it's really important to remember that these guidelines are not individual prescriptions necessarily, and what is recommended for one person might not be appropriate for someone else. So it's vital to ensure that the amount, intensity, and style of exercise or physical activity that is carried out is appropriate to one's individual health, medical risks, and psychological relationship with exercise. And also remember that if listening to recommendations such as do 10,000 steps per day or whatever, or this activity for some people listening can actually be harmful, to physical and mental health, and also getting fixated on numbers, etc., can lead to increased obsessional behavior with exercise rules and patterns. So I think, again, it's just kind of, just really thinking about your own body, listening to your body, not getting too fixated by something external, listening within. Okay, the next one, myth or a fact: the more active I am, the better I have to exercise every day. No, this is definitely not true. There is a wealth of information, advice, and a guidance on incorporating physical activity into daily lifestyle and the many benefits it can bring. But for many individuals, the amount and type of exercise will vary and will be dependent on many lifestyle factors such as occupational and leisure activities, as well as individuals' physical and mental health. The body needs rest. So following physical activity or exercise, it really does need to have some rest and recovery. And good nutrition. And without these two factors, muscles accumulate stress and fatigue, and exercise will have the opposite outcome for what was intended. Now, I know for myself, I do quite high intensity exercise. I train for high rocks, but I only train 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. So I'm always having at least 2 rest days, possibly, and usually 3 rest days, to be honest with you. On those rest days as well, I may go for a little walk around the field, but really most of my activity is literally hanging the washing on the line, walking up and down the stairs, and pottering around the house, okay? But it means that when I go to the gym and I do my exercise, I am really full of energy and I can really put my maximum into those workouts because I give myself loads of rest. So, okay. Next one, I am fit, therefore I must be healthy. The thinner I am, the fitter my body will be. So these are exercise myths. Fitness refers to the efficiency of the body during aerobic activity and therefore relates predominantly to the cardiovascular system. Being thin is not an indication, and also having abs is not an indication as to how effectively the heart and lungs function. And active people, or those who engage in structured exercise, often have a good level of fitness, but they can still be like overweight in terms of BMI. So we just need to look at much more of the broader picture. And it's remembered as well, like sumo wrestlers are fit, but have excess fat and associated strain placed on the body. And it's important to remember as well that many athletes actually overtrain, and that is not healthy despite having a good level of fitness. And female athletes who maintain a high level of fitness alongside a low body weight are at high risk of not menstruating and developing reduced bone health. So remember that the body's primary fuel for aerobic activity and exercise is fat, and therefore there is a point at which becoming thinner will negatively impact on fitness and performance. And the last one, my muscles will turn into fat tissue if I do not use them. This is a myth. Muscle and fat are two separate structures. One cannot convert to the other, and therefore just because a muscle isn't used at the same level as before does not mean it will convert to fat. A muscle that is not placed under as much demand from exercise may appear less defined or less toned, but it will not have been converted to a different tissue structure. So just to clear that one up. Okay, thank you very much, Physiotherapy Department at Adult Eating Disorder Service in Cambridge. Massively appreciate this valuable bit of information. Do go and check me out on YouTube if you want to see me, a picture of me, video of me talking. Hopefully it'll be entertaining. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you're not following me already on Instagram, do seek me out, the Eating Disorder Therapist _ and do all the things. Follow, rate and review. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to sharing another episode soon.